Hello everyone, and welcome to our video on simple interest. So simple interest has a nice formula here. It's often used to calculate interest for a short time period, like usually less than 1 year. And we have I equals PRT, where I, let's put it over here, so I is the interest amount, so that's going to be a dollar amount. So it's an interest amount. P is called the principal. Or you can also say they might use this more often, the present value, and it's also in dollars. Okay, so the present value, it's like the present value of an amount that you're putting into something to earn interest or something that you need to pay interest on. The little r there is the interest rate, and it's usually given as a percent, but we often need to convert it to a decimal. Okay, so let's put that. So given as a percent, but needs to be converted into a decimal. Whoop, it freaked out there. Okay, so it needs to be converted into a decimal, and that'll be easy to do. We just have to move it over twice to the left. We'll show that once we get to that problem. And then T is time, and it is in years. So we need to make sure whatever unit they give us, we need to be able to convert it. Okay, so whenever they say anything about simple interest, so it's like usually just written out right up there in the word problem, just it says the word simple, we need to use this formula. Okay, and so since it's not too bad, the way that I remember it is like I equals, this sounds kind of like party, PRT, I am the party. Okay, so that's one way to think of it. All right, so because usually we don't give you this formula because it's kind of nice. All right, so let's see how it works. So in this example, it says Jimmy invested $5,000 at 0.24% simple interest for 5 months. Find the interest earned. Okay, so right here, we'll get all of our variables down. Okay, so it is simple interest. I'm going to put all my variables on the left, and let's put our formula just right here for now. So I equals PRT. And then Jimmy invested $5,000. So that's the present value, or the principal, so that's our capital P. This interest rate, so that's the R right there, the 0.24%, but we need to convert that to a decimal, which means to just move it over to the left. So it would be 0.0024. That's what we would really want to use. And the reason for that, so as a side note, so percent means per 100. And so per 100, so per in math is division. And when this divides, we get this decimal. Okay, so the 0.0024. Okay, so that's scratch work. You don't really need, just showing why it converts to that. And then our T is 5 months. Yeah, we got to be careful. So that's in months. Let me put MO for months. But we need to convert that into years. Well, we know that there's 12 months into 1 year. So that means we just need to do some division. So we would need to say, hey, well, 5 months per 12 months. So this is 5/12 of a year. So 5 months is 5 out of the 12 months for a year. Okay, so that's how we can convert that. And then from there, we can change it to a decimal, but often we'll use a calculator anyway. Okay, so now that we have all of these parts, we'll plug them in. So the I equals 5,000, and then 0.0024, and then 5/12. And then from there, we'll use our calculator. So I use the parentheses to show it, show that we will be multiplying. For my calculator, since we're online here, I'm just going to use Desmos, so I'm already here, and I like to just use the scientific calculator, so it's kind of similar to an 84 or 85 kind of display. And so then we've got, so I'm just going to type that in. So 5,000 times 0,024 times 5 divided by 12. So I'm just typing it in. So I changed it to actual multiplication instead of the parentheses. And then we'll press enter. And well, you can't see everything, but it all simplified to be just 5. Okay, so that means it's $5. So that's the amount of interest. And they might say round to 2 or round to the nearest cent. So 5 rounds to 5.00 to show it to the nearest cent. So that is the interest that was earned. Okay, and then they might ask, find the maturity value of his account. Well, so what this means is what is his account worth after the 5 months? So after 5 months, well, the account just earned $5. Add it to the initial, we would have 5,000 plus 5. So that's it. So his account is, and again, if they said round to the nearest cent, we would do 0.00. So $5,005. And that's it. Okay. So we have this. So just make sure you're answering the correct thing on some of these problems. So often we just find that interest and then we can add it to an initial amount for this final answer. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now let's see. Let's just do a couple other examples in this video. So find the simple interest on an account of this random number at 1.35% for 50 days. So it's kind of similar. We just want to make sure we're converting things correctly. So find the simple interest. So again, I'm just going to kind of put that in the middle. That is our formula. On an account of, so that would be our principal or the present value. So the $9,204.14. The rate is, well, I was about to convert it. Let me put the percent first and then we'll convert it. So 1.35%. But we need to convert this to a decimal, so 0. So move it twice, like that. And then here you can kind of check. So if I move it back to the right twice, it does match 1.35%. Okay, so this is the rate that we want. And then the time is in 50 days. Okay, so this is where, again, we would say, hey, well, I know there's 365 days in a year. We're assuming a non-leap year. And so like before, we'll just do that quick division. So 50 divided by 365, that would convert the days into years. So it's 50 over 365ths of a year. Okay, sometimes as a side note, and they would have to say it, they might say, so they might say use a 360-day year. So sometimes they say that. So instead of 50 divided by 365, so we would have done 50 over 360 if they said that. Okay, so you use a 360-day year. That's what this one would become. Okay, so but usually they state that and let you know that they want you to round. So and they're just making it so it's an easier number to round with. So 365 is a little weird, but still that's the normal kind of amount of days in a normal year. All right, so anyway, now we do have everything though. So we'll use the one in the blue. So we have I equals our 9204.14 times the 0.0135 and then times the 50 over 365. So just like that. Okay, and then again, I need my calculator. Okay, so here it is, and I'm just going to kind of put it to the side for now so you can still kind of see it. And then 9204.14 times 0.0135 times 50 divided by 365. And so, and make sure all those numbers are in there correctly, and don't round anything. They would want you to round at the final answer. So right here is where we'll start to round. Okay, so we've got $17.02 is how that rounds right there. Okay, so $17.02, and then that's our answer. Okay, so find the simple interest on the account. $17.02. Okay, there it is. So pretty nice formula, right? Okay, let's do one other here with the simple interest. So if $17,000 earned simple interest of $840.25 in 40 weeks, what was the simple interest rate? Okay, so they're asking for something different, but we still see the phrase like simple interest. So we have our formula, I equals PRT. And then to the left over here is where I'll just write everything down. That's important to us. Okay, so they said if $17,000 earned this amount of simple interest. So this is still our principal. So they're saying this was a present value if this amount at the start then earned that amount of interest. So that is our capital I in this problem. $840.25 in 40 weeks. So that's our time. So we've got all these, just kind of underlining it. So that's our time. It's in weeks. Well, just like before, it needs to be converted into years. This is where we would say, we know, 52 weeks is equal to 1 year. And so just like before, we'll just take the 40, whatever the amount of weeks they give us, and divide by 52. So 40 over 52, that would be the number of weeks converted into years. Okay, and kind of similar to what we did with the days, they might sometimes say to use 50 weeks, again, just to kind of have a nice round number. They might say use 50 weeks equals 1 year. Okay, but on this they didn't say it, so I'm going to assume it's still kind of like a normal year. 52 weeks is in a year. All right, and anyway, the other thing now is they did say find the simple interest rate. So that means we are finding R. So we could still plug in everything. So we have the I is $840.25 equals the principal, which is $17,000. And then R is what we need. And then the T we said is 40 over 52. Okay, so with this style problem, well, it is solved. It is now, so we need to solve for R. Well, we could still do our steps to solve an equation. So over here, these could multiply. Remember, the order of multiplication doesn't matter, so you can move the R to the very far right, and that's what I will do. So let's go ahead and get that multiplied. So we have 17,000 times, and then the 40 divided by 52 is that amount. Okay, so this is where the calculator can save this number, and I don't really want to round it. Okay, so but I can still write what's over there. Okay, so we have $840.25 equaled, when we multiplied, we got $13,076, and let's do 0.92308. So I don't want to round this number yet, so that's what the calculator gave me, and then the R is still attached. And then, well, we know if I want to get R by itself, we can divide. So we'll divide this number on over to both sides. Okay, and most calculators have a way to input what you just had as an answer. So we'll do the $840.25 divided by, on this one it has it, see at the bottom right, so most have it in the key area with the numbers. So divided by that answer, and this is the decimal that we get. Okay, so that's our decimal. So that is currently R. So we did the division, and we got R. Let's go ahead. So we got R by itself, and we got 0.06425. Okay, and then that's probably good. So it was longer, but at this point I would probably round it to something anyway. Okay, so this is where we state, well, this is the rate as a decimal. So when they want us to find it, they probably want it now converted back into a percent. And so we're just kind of going in the reverse order of what we did on these previous problems. So the percent, we moved it to the left 2 times to convert it to a decimal. Well, let's go the opposite direction. Let's move this over 2 decimals to the right to convert it into a percent. Okay, so it should be 6.425% is the rate. Okay, so that's it. And then again, you can kind of check it real quick. If you just move it over 2 to the left again, it should match what's above. And so that's it. So we found the percent. So this is our simple interest rate for this problem. Okay, so simple interest. So if you have a simple interest problem, just see that keyword, underline it or highlight it or whatever, and then know that we've got this formula involved in some way to help us out with the rest of the problem. All right, so that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.